The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday morning. It's Tony Kurre. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Man, coffee tastes so good on mornings like today. I want to tell you a little secret about guys and women. I'll tell you about it in just a minute. Don't forget to check out the TKR app, and also, of course, listen to all of our great shows. I did 5 shows yesterday. We've got the Mark Ingram show coming up with UAB. We're talking about the Auburn hire. It looks like Lane Kiffin's going to be the next Auburn coach, and got some fantastic shows. I'm going to be doing a special show with Mike Hammonds, who, of course, an executive producer, was a Grammy-nominated producer that worked with Jeff Cook. I'm doing an interview with him tomorrow. Jeff Cook, of course, of Alabama, so some great stuff. So, all right, so let's get into it. So when guys go out, I'm going to give you a little secret here. When guys go out and we're looking around, the one thing that a lot of guys notice, and particularly when we're looking for our next mate, is how many ugly dudes get good-looking women. Now, I will tell you something right now, ladies, and you should realize this, and it really sucks for you, but there's a lot more good-looking women out there than there are good-looking guys. Now, a lot of women who are watching right now are going, yeah. It's really hard to find good-looking guys. And what I mean by good-looking guys is chiseled looks, good-looking guys, and then pretty good bodies. You look at ads and look at TV commercials, and it seems like they're all over the place. There just ain't that many good-looking guys. And some good-looking guys are too short. They're like 5'5", 5'6". That's not going to work. Some of them, and then you get good-looking guys who know they're good-looking, and they know they're in the minority, and they're a-holes. Right? So a woman will stay, like a guy would stay with a really good-looking woman for too long. Women will stay with a good-looking guy for too long because he's a good-looking guy, and then realize he's an a-hole, and there's no future there. The sex may be good, maybe he's nice to her friends, maybe he's nice to the parents, but he's just a jerk-off, right? And so that ain't gonna work. So when guys go out and we're looking for our next mate, we notice how many goofy-looking dudes are with women. I was at the UAB football game this past Saturday, and there was this woman sitting in front of me who was striking. I mean, beautiful. And she was a little homely. She looked like she was pretty little naive. Maybe she was and she was with this dude, and I was like, and they were kissing, so I know they weren't brothers and sisters. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was thinking, there's a chance for towing the bone. There's a chance for me. I mean, I'm about a 6'6.5". I'm okay. I feel 7 on a good day, right? Maybe a haircut picked me up 7.5. But I'm sitting there looking at this, I'm going, and the only thing I could think of is maybe they knew each other since they were like in 3rd grade or something. They're from like Anion or something, or they lived in a trailer park down south or something, and they just knew each other and they got married into the family. I don't know the situation, but I was like, wow. I was just like really surprised. So what happens here is us guys. This is the guy who says, I had to ask her out 6 times before she finally said yes, and the next thing you know, they're married for 50 years. Blah 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 blah. But sometimes that does work. Sometimes guys will just gnaw down a woman to the point where she's like, finally, I'll go out with you. And then you got to win them over because you ain't going to get them with the good looks because you ain't got the good looks. If you put 50 dudes in a room, maybe 10 of them are like, if you're a woman, okay, I'll give it a shot. You put 50 women in a room, and it's going to be at least half. And it's not because us guys are dogs and that we just, look at opportunities and, she's not really good looking, but if she loses 10 or 15 pounds, no. It's like 25 of the 50 women are pretty decent looking, like would take a shot. And obviously, we're visual animals, and so we're going to look at, she's got a great heart, great personality. Well, that's great, but guys are always going to be going for them. You are too. Women do that too. If you got a dude that's like a 5, and super smart, and you got a guy that's an 8, and he's kind of a goofball, but he's good looking, you're going to take the 8 first because you may hit a home run both ways. You may end up finding, hey, I fell in love with this goofball, and maybe he's not particularly smart, but he's a good looking guy, and I'm happy, takes care of my kids, likes my family, blah, 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 blah. So then I see this Pete Davidson story, where evidently now he's dating Emily Ratajkowski. And I'm like, dude, you look at Pete Davidson, if he was working, instead of doing Taco Bell commercials, was working at a Taco Bell, there is not a woman on the face of the earth that would look at him and go, wow, this is my man. This is the guy I want to go out with. And he's going out with every stinking hot woman in Hollywood. Why? He has a sense of humor. Women will always use this now. for lack of size, lack of good looks, lack of height. Women will always say, he's got a great sense of humor. Guys can get really far if you're funny. It's important, and I've considered myself kind of a funny guy. I've done some stand-up. I've done some things. Creativity in the comedy world kind of ebbs and flows a little bit. Kind of depends on what you're going through in life. You find a comedy and tragedy. Well, I should be funny as shit right now. But you go through that, and if you can get a woman to laugh, you're in. You got to be funny a little bit, and self-deprecation works as well, but not so much so that you look like you're really, really insecure. Now, Pete Davidson obviously is a really funny guy. He's on Saturday Night Live, or he's been on Saturday Night Live. He's making movies and commercials, and so he's got that rich thing going for him. So yeah, I mean, he could look like Pete Davidson. He could look like that and still get good-looking women because of who he is and what he does for a living. But he does have to open that door with a sense of humor, and that's what Kim Kardashian, that's what Emily Ratajkowski, that's what was like 55 other good-looking women that love him. Now, I don't know if it's going to last. I don't know if it's going to be marriage material. They may get with him and find out that he's a puppy dog and that he's so insecure that's like, okay, that was funny, but now I'm realizing who you really are. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened with Kim Kardashian. So that takes me to the Gisele Bündchen story. Gisele Bündchen was seen a couple days ago with her jiu-jitsu instructor. If you remember, and I talked about this on the show, I was really rooting for Tom and Gisele because they're just a good-looking couple. They got kids. They've been together for 13 years. They're super successful. Seems like they got everything in life but love. And then all of a sudden things start falling apart. I don't know, maybe the straw broke the camel's back, and he went back and got out of retirement, and she's looking after the kids, and it's her time, blah, 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 right? And so all of a sudden they're like divorced in like 3 days. Like, where the hell does that happen? I mean, they got all this money stuff, and obviously there's enough money to go around. They're going to be fine. And I think they had a pretty ironclad prenup, so that's not going to be an issue. But I mean, like on a Monday, they were talking about, yeah, it looks like they're going to divorce, and they were divorced on a Wednesday. It was like, I mean, it was super, it was quick. I don't know about you, my divorce took like 2 or 3 years. So I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing that they could. So what that tells me is obviously maybe it was ramped up for a period of time, and that they were just done. Because if there was going to be any reconciliation, they wouldn't have gotten divorced. Maybe they would have said, hey, listen, let's separate for a little bit. Let's see what happens. But no, it was over. I mean, it was split and finished. So she is seen down in Costa Rica with this jiu-jitsu fitness trainer that she's been working with for like the last year and a half. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, now we know why that divorce happened so quick. Hold on. Pump the brakes a little bit. First of all, I'm not rich. I don't travel to Costa Rica every weekend like Gisele and Tom used to. They used to go down there all the time. I do find it a little strange that you be taking your personal fitness trainer, particularly when he looks like that. He's one of those 10 dudes in the room of 50, down to Costa Rica. Now, they have said there's nothing going on. They're just friends. When you're rich, I guess maybe you take your personal chef, you take your personal maid, you take your personal nanny, and you take your personal jiu-jitsu fitness guy. I don't know. Maybe you have a personal yoga instructor. Anybody out there doing hot yoga, doing yoga, and you do it like 4 or 5 days a week. When you're a millionaire and you're going to Costa Rica for a week, maybe you think, I'm going to fly my yoga instructor down despite the fact she looks really, really smoking hot and I just got a divorce. I don't know. Could be. That's what rich people do. I'm not rich. I've never been rich. I've never done that. I haven't seen that happen. But it ain't a really particularly good look. I will say this, though. Some people are like, how could she possibly do that to Tom? How could she even be seen with another good-looking man? They weren't holding hands. They weren't kissing. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But I will say this. For people that can move on, if in fact that's what's happening, because I'm assuming here in the next couple of days we're going to find out they're dating. When that happens, I kind of envy that a little bit. When I went through my divorce and my breakup, man, the last thing I wanted to do is get in another relationship. Now, I have a lot of balls in the air right now, juggling balls. I got a lot of work going on. We got kids going on. My blinders are on. I'm super focused on what's going on in my spirituality, on my relationship with Christ. I mean, I've got a lot of things going on. So the last thing I really want to get right now is another woman in my life. I've been through that for the last 20, 25 years. I'm kind of like, I'm good. Do I want to fall in love again? Absolutely. Do I want to have another woman? Yeah. Do I want to get married again? But this is the deal. So when people move on really, really fast like that, if in fact she is dating this guy, and again, she says she's not, so I don't know, but I'm assuming in about a week and a half we'll see a picture of them kissing somewhere. I'm just saying. Because he's a really good guy. She's a good-looking girl, and why not? When I see people move on so quick, two things come to mind. First of all, there must have been something before the divorce, which is sad, because if she's emotionally spending time with this jiu-jitsu guy, emotionally, not physically, but emotionally, then she's taking away from her marriage. And again, I'm not saying she is. I don't know. I'm just saying. Usually you don't go through a divorce and like 3 weeks later, all of a sudden you're dating somebody again, unless you had that person in mind before your marriage was over. You just don't go out in the street 3 weeks later with a family and everything and go, "Oh, you want to go out? Yeah, I'm single now." You just don't see that. But if you do, and you can pull it off, because I would feel like there's still some love for your ex. If in fact you do, then good for you. I envy that. I think that's great. Could be rebound. Could be she's lonely. Could be she's insecure. Could be she just wants a man in her life. Or it could be maybe there's something going on, whenever you have a personal trainer, the last year and a half, they've been wrestling around the ground together, do a little jokey, this, that, and the other, and that's kind of an easy, a jiu-jitsu guy. Sure. I mean, I see him 3 days a week. We know each other. We've talked about some things. We've shared some stories. Maybe a good guy to date. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy that can do that, but some people can, and I envy people that can move on that much more quickly and get right back into the relationship, but some people just can't do it. We'll see what happens. I hope you have a fantastic day and a great Tuesday. Jimmy Lane, good morning to you. Lane, good morning to you. Everyone that's tuned in this morning, greatly appreciate you watching here on Facebook. Don't forget, Dr. Josh Claypool will join me again on Thursday. We go about an hour. I know a lot of people are like, it's too long. I don't expect you to watch the whole thing, but we just talk for like an hour. Our mouths move like ducks' asses. It's great. We talk for like an hour. We're going to be on Fox 6 at 9:35 coming up on Thursday as well. Check out all my great shows. I was showing my next door neighbor last night. He's like, "Now, wait a minute. I got the TKR app. What's this podcast thing?" I'm like, "Dude, it's two totally different things, but it's one the same." All of our shows, if you download the Tony Kurre Radio app, TKR app on Apple or Tony Kurre Radio on Android, you can hear all of our shows from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, plus all the classic rock you want. It's great classic rock and roll. It's all up-tempo. I play no slow stuff. It's fantastic. I got over 100,000 downloads. It's killer. And then if you want to listen to any of the shows you missed, because I don't expect you to listen all day, I wish you did, then go to Tony Kurre Radio Podcast or wherever you get your podcast. Look up Tony Kurre Radio. It's Kurre with a K. And you'll see over like 800 episodes of everything from Dark Side of the Pooch, Need to Know, Wanna Bet, Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks, The Damon Johnson Show, which is on every single day of the week, When in Rome with Stuart Rome, Mission Minor with Michael Coleman from the Jimmy Hill Mission / Montgomery Food Bank. He does a great job. Live Wire Wednesday with Southern Precision Staffing. Fantastic show. Students of the Game, another great show. I mean, I go on and on and on. Great shows throughout the entire day. A little bit of everything for everybody. You'll find something you like. So check it out. Have a great day. Stay dry. I love you. Back at you on the TKR app.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.